God told me to warn you. You better sit down and get ready for this June 26th. The moment this message found you may not be an accident. Before you do anything else, allow yourself to become still for a moment because what you are about to hear is not meant to rush you. It is meant to remind you of something your heart may have quietly sensed for a long time. Stay with this, because there is something important here that deserves your full attention. June 26th is not being presented as a day of certainty or prediction. Instead, think of it as a gentle invitation to notice what has already been changing inside you. Sometimes the biggest moments begin long before anyone else can see them, and perhaps you have been carrying that quiet feeling without even realizing it. There are seasons in life when everything appears ordinary on the outside while something remarkable is taking shape within. You continue your routine, answer the same conversations, wake up to familiar mornings, yet your perspective slowly begins to shift. You start noticing details that never stood out before. You become more patient with yourself. You stop chasing every answer and begin trusting that understanding arrives at the right pace. If this speaks to your heart, then perhaps you have already stepped into one of those seasons. June 26th can simply become a meaningful checkpoint, a day to pause and recognize how much silent growth has already happened without applause, without attention, and without needing anyone else's approval. It is easy to believe that meaningful change must arrive with dramatic signs, but life often moves with remarkable gentleness. A conversation that encourages you, a memory that suddenly makes sense, or a quiet realization that helps you release an old burden can become the beginning of a completely different chapter. Your spirit often notices these moments before your mind does. That is why you may have felt restless lately without being able to explain why. You are not falling apart. You are making room for a clearer understanding of yourself. Do not miss what comes next, because sometimes the greatest gift is not a new destination, but finally recognizing the person you are becoming along the journey. As this message continues, keep your heart open rather than searching for perfect answers. You do not have to force meaning into every detail. Simply allow yourself to reflect honestly on where you have been and where you quietly hope to go. The next part will explore why certain moments seem to arrive exactly when your heart is finally ready to receive them, and how what once felt like waiting may actually have been preparation all along. Until then, carry this thought with you today. The most meaningful changes often begin in silence, long before they become visible to the world. There is a quiet reason some moments stay with you longer than others. You may forget the details of an ordinary day, yet a single conversation, a simple glance, or an unexpected feeling can remain in your heart for years. That is because your life is not shaped only by loud events. It is often shaped by the small moments that gently redirect your attention. Stay with this, because you may begin to recognize that what seemed ordinary was quietly preparing you for a deeper understanding of yourself. Think about how many times you believed nothing was changing. You waited for clear answers, searched for obvious signs, and wondered whether your efforts truly mattered. Yet while you were questioning the journey, your character was becoming stronger in ways that could never be measured from the outside. You became more compassionate after disappointment. You learned patience after uncertainty. You discovered courage after facing moments that no one else fully understood. Those quiet victories deserve to be remembered because they reveal how far you have already come, even if you rarely stop to acknowledge them. As June 26th approaches, let it become a gentle reminder rather than a deadline. You do not need everything to suddenly make sense. Sometimes clarity arrives when you stop demanding immediate explanations and begin trusting the process of steady growth. There is something important here. You may notice a conversation that inspires you, a decision that finally feels peaceful, or a thought that encourages you to let go of an old weight you have carried for far too long. None of these moments need to be dramatic to become meaningful. Their power comes from how deeply they resonate within your heart. The next part moves even closer to the quiet transformation taking place inside you. It is not about predicting what will happen tomorrow. It is about understanding why your perspective has been changing and why your heart has been asking different questions than it once did. When you begin to see yourself through a kinder and wiser lens, the path ahead often becomes clearer without needing every answer at once. Hold on to that thought, because the journey is only beginning to reveal its deeper meaning. A peaceful realization often arrives without announcing itself. One morning you simply notice that something which once troubled you no longer carries the same weight. The questions that kept you awake begin to lose their power, and your heart starts making room for hope instead of constant uncertainty. That kind of change is easy to overlook because it happens quietly, but it is often the most meaningful transformation of all. Do not rush past this moment. There is something important here, and it may already be unfolding within you, even if you cannot fully describe it yet. You have probably spent more time growing than you have given yourself credit for. Every disappointment taught you something about resilience. Every season of waiting revealed a little more about your patience. Even the moments that felt confusing became part of a larger picture that only now is beginning to make sense. Looking back, you may realize that the person you were a year ago would not have responded to life the way you do today. That is not because life became easier. It is because your heart became steadier. You learned to listen more closely to your inner peace than to the noise surrounding you, and that quiet strength is becoming one of your greatest gifts. When you think about June 26th, let it remind you to pause instead of rushing ahead. Give yourself permission to notice what has been overlooked. Perhaps there is gratitude that has gone unspoken, forgiveness that has been waiting patiently, or a dream you quietly placed aside because you believed the right moment had passed. Sometimes the right moment is not found by searching harder. It appears when you are finally ready to receive it with an open heart. Stay with this, because the most meaningful discoveries are often the ones that gently reshape the way you see yourself rather than the way the world sees you. As this journey continues, another layer of understanding is waiting to unfold. The next part will explore why certain connections, memories, and moments seem to return just when you need them most, and how those quiet reminders can guide you toward greater clarity. Until then, carry this simple thought with you. Every step you have taken, even the uncertain ones, has been shaping a heart that is becoming calmer, wiser, and more prepared for whatever beautiful chapter comes next. Sometimes the clearest message is not spoken aloud. It arrives as a deep sense of peace that quietly settles over your thoughts when you stop trying to control every outcome. If you have been carrying questions that seem to have no immediate answers, allow yourself to breathe without demanding certainty from this very moment. The heart often understands long before the mind can explain. That is why this part of your journey is less about discovering something outside yourself and more about recognizing the quiet wisdom that has been growing within you all along. You may have noticed that your priorities have been changing in subtle ways. Things that once seemed urgent no longer hold the same importance, while simple moments now carry unexpected meaning. A kind conversation, a few minutes of silence, a memory that makes you smile instead of ache, or the courage to forgive yourself for past mistakes can become powerful turning points. These are not small moments. They are signs that your perspective is becoming gentler and your spirit is becoming more grounded. Don't miss what comes next, because when your inner world becomes calmer, you begin to notice opportunities and connections that were always present but hidden beneath the noise. As you reflect on June 26th, let it become a personal reminder to pause and appreciate how much unseen progress has already taken place. You do not need extraordinary events to confirm that your life is moving forward. Growth often reveals itself through greater patience, deeper gratitude, and the quiet confidence to keep walking even when every detail has not yet been revealed. The strongest foundations are built one steady step at a time, and your journey is no different. Every lesson, every season of waiting, and every quiet victory has helped shape the person you are becoming today. The final part will bring everything together with a message of calm clarity and hope. It is not about reaching a perfect ending, but about embracing the confidence that comes from knowing you have grown through every chapter of your story. Keep this thought close as you continue. The future does not ask you to be fearless. It simply invites you to keep moving forward with an open heart, trusting that each new day offers another opportunity to become the person you were always capable of being. The most meaningful chapter of this message is not about a single date. It is about the person you are becoming each time you choose hope over doubt, patience over frustration, and peace over constant worry. If June 26th remains in your thoughts, let it serve as a gentle reminder to pause, reflect, and appreciate the quiet progress that has been taking place within you. What once felt like endless waiting may actually have been the time your heart needed to become stronger, wiser, and more prepared for the opportunities that belong to your path. Stay with this for one final moment, because the greatest message is often the simplest one. You have never needed to become someone completely different to move into a new season of life. The qualities you have been searching for have been growing inside you little by little. Every kind decision, every moment of forgiveness, every lesson learned through experience has added another layer of quiet strength. Even when no one noticed your effort, it still mattered. Even when your progress seemed invisible, it was real. There is a beautiful confidence that develops when you stop measuring your worth by how quickly life changes and begin recognizing the value of who you are becoming through the journey itself. As you leave this message behind, carry only what brings peace. Let go of the pressure to predict every tomorrow or understand every unanswered question. Life unfolds one faithful step at a time, and each day offers another chance to choose kindness, gratitude, and courage. The unseen connections that guide your heart are often revealed only after you have already walked through them. Looking back, you may discover that the moments you once called delays were quietly creating the foundation for greater clarity and deeper joy. That realization is a gift that no circumstance can take away. So, walk into the days ahead with a calm heart and an open mind. Trust your growth, honor your journey, appreciate the quiet victories that no one else can see. If this message encouraged you, let it remind you that hope is not found in dramatic moments alone. It is found in the quiet decision to keep believing that each new sunrise brings another opportunity to live with purpose, compassion, and peace. Thank you for spending these moments here, and may your heart continue to find clarity, strength, and gentle encouragement wherever your path leads next.